Hello, disc golf friends, and welcome back to MDG Media. We are bringing you final back nine FPO chase card coverage of the 2025 European Disc Golf Festival, a grand stage here in Tallinn, Estonia, quite literally on the festival song grounds. The stage is set, only 9 holes remain. You are here with us. We are here at the desk. I'm Connor Wood, with me Mr. Andrew Gum.
So great to be here. The conclusion of the European Disc Golf Festival is upon us. It's been such a fun time. We really enjoyed having you along with us and everything that's been going on, everything it took to put it together. Huge thanks to everybody who's doing that stuff. Let's enjoy the final 9 holes here.
Put it together and take it apart. These rounds getting deconstructed along with the course here. We see Holyn Handley leading our chase card at 10 under. The other 3 on our chase card not particularly hot. We see scores of even and +3 throughout the others. And the field is very tight, at least in the top 10 or so positions. There's still many names in contention for podium. For the win, there's a few players separating themselves, but let's focus on the golf, Andrew. What do we see here on hole 10?
Yeah, hole 10 is a straight shot off the tee, par 4, 165 meters. 2 trees pretty closely together, but they're so close to the tee you don't see them really miss too often, but it does really force the issue with the shape of the shot, just piping it down there. Then once you get it as far up as you get, then you got your up shot, 165 meters total. So it's not really a huge distance hole, but if you do get some distance off the tee, it makes that approach that much easier. But yeah, lots to play for still for these players, as you could see from the leaderboard, and as you mentioned, if any of these players decide to get hot, they could potentially be in contention for the win if some blow-ups happen on the lead card. If not, there is those podium positions, definitely in range.
And worth mentioning, Andrew, as a major, some of the biggest purses which we've seen this year so far. Thousands and thousands of euros now here in Estonia on the line for every position going down from the lead. So a single stroke can literally be a €1,000 swing or more.
That's a great point. Yeah, $8,500 for the winner, $4,500, I believe, for second, and then it just goes down from there. Lots at stake. Also, yeah, Disc Golf Pro Tour points, I believe. Yeah, at a bonus level for majors. So lots to play for.
Lots at stake. If they win some money, maybe even a steak dinner. Cadence catches that tree. We see some emotions coming out of her now. Has not yet found a birdie in this final round. Trying to put together good shots, trying to find the putts. She's had moments of great shots, but never stringing together consecutive ones on the same hole. We see her there. She's in position for yet another birdie look. She can potentially capitalize. Keiti, a nicer stability on this one. Should have a stronger finish back to the left, but actually gets a slight counter skip despite landing on hyzer, skips forwards and to the right. She's just outside the circle. Looking back now, we go to Missy.
Nice approach there, up inside the circle.
Holyn has been very strong on her approach this tournament. It's been something she's able to rely on.
Oh, okay.
Almost throwing it in there. That one, 9 meters. Looking back to the pin, we go first to Cadence. There it is.
Wow.
An amazing putt. Stunning even.
Another huge putt, and another kind of slow walk in with not much reaction. Pretty stoic.
Minimal gusto, let's say. But she can be happy with that, of course. She continues to push her way below par. She's sitting in 10th, Andrew. That is a respectable position at a major tournament.
Absolutely.
And a major putt there by Holyn Handley. 3 under for the round. Continues to push our chase card, trying to get them further and further towards the leaders, just 1 or 2 holes behind them.
Yeah, she's right there in the mix. We did see Keiti splash out high chains, and Missy, solid stroke there, gets her birdie. I feel like Cadence's putt is quite unique. it's like she's a little bit like not really centered directly towards the basket, and she kind of throws. It's almost like a little bit like Gannon Burge in a way, but quite unique. I don't think I've seen anybody else quite putt that way. But she's making it work. The range is impressive.
Gannon Burge, Cadence Burge. Close enough. And Keiti in for the lone par here on hole 10. We move hole 11. This par 5 sits at 235 meters. You have OB lining the left and right of this initial tunnel, as well as this obstacle building. You can sometimes even kick off that back in bounds, but you're certainly not trying to. The fairway then bends slowly over to the right, as players must weave and wind their way through this continuous obstacle of trees. If you get far enough, you then break out into this open field, but with this new pin placement further in distance as well as to the right, it's so much more guarded that the birdie with the previous pin position compared to this one was far simpler. This is a much more demanding hole now in distance, in shape, in accuracy, all skills required to birdie hole 11. We go to Holyn shaping the forehand flex initially to the right of the fairway. The stability kicks in time, and that is an amazing drive.
So far up there and in great position. That was a bomber. Massive forehand stroke. Missy's played really well today despite that one blow up there on hole 7. It's taken her pretty far to contention for the win, but if she can keep rolling here, she might have a chance to fight back up for a top 5 or potential podium maybe. That was a good drive.
Cadence now, potentially with some momentum on her side, has found the birdie. And I mentioned it, at this point in the tournament, 8 holes left. There's almost nothing to lose. That one sneaks out a little bit too long and straight. She finds the red flag. I would say that the birdie still, the par rather, still potentially in play.
Yeah, as a par 5, that's not particularly long.
But the birdie is out of play there.
Yeah,
she won't string together 2 in a row at a point where maybe she was feeling the chance to continue under par. A green flag there, though, for that inside right.
Missy up against the house here, or building, to get her full run up. It's a tree limb, but still progresses pretty well after that. She's in pretty decent position after 2.
It's sufficient to attack for birdie on the next one, or rather to access the green. Keiti here with some gaps to hit as well as the low ceiling. She shapes this Anheuser nicely, most naturally pushing the disc through the gap. Also comes with the benefit of the flex shape, allowing some additional distance. We go now to Cadence. She is long and straight, and opting rather than for the traditional fairway to try and get a little bit sneaky on the shortcut. She is prevented from the full flight, but from there she will have ways to get to the green to save the par. Holyn after the smash on the tee now, looking to shape another forehand. We see her very athletic here on the stance, knees bent, low center of gravity, and a clean kinetic chain from foot to hip to shoulder to elbow to wrist to the green. Circle 2.
Well explained, yeah.
Eagle look at from circle 2, potentially.
That is indeed an eagle look. A couple of bomber forehands. Gets her way up there. I haven't seen any eagles yet, I don't believe. It'd be something special. Especially on this pin placement. Like, I could think maybe more likely on the day 1 and 2.
Very good point. The eagle far more demanding with this second pin placement. As we see the green, and at least its guardians doing their job. A lot of obstacles that you need to beat cleanly. Cadence has done exactly that. Will have that tree ever so slightly in her way, but I think a simple straddle will open up the angle. We go to Holyn for the Eagle 3.
Oh my goodness. Cans the eagle.
That is sick here. Finds the eagle on 11, flashes the 3. She knows that she's done something special here.
That was amazing. two just brilliant, massive forehands, and then a huge C2 putt for the eagle. Keiti banging the band for her birdie look, but what a highlight there from Holyn. Would have maybe wanted to see a slow-mo on that, but
And somehow Missy's putt almost overshadowed there. That was a great birdie putt. Missy played this hole really well. She gets up there, she makes a long putt to save the birdie, and somehow still loses a stroke to Holyn on her card. There's the straddle out from Cadence to open up the putting angle and a smooth connection. You see she's just walking really slowly, much like her throw, much like her putts. Every movement intentional, no wasted energy. As she's conserving it, she's saving it, she's staying composed, even with the pressure mounting.
And some major movement for Holyn with that eagle. She's 3 down for the back 9 already, charging up that leaderboard. She's actually really still in contention for the win now, especially with that big eagle putt there. Hole 12, par 475 meters. See if she can do something special here as well. You just got to get off the tee clean, first of all. The OB is, you know, all about. And there are some trees on the left side of the fairway that can obstruct you on your approach. A couple different ways to play this one. There you see the basket with OB all around it, but plenty of room to get your approach up there if you have some control, especially in great weather like this. The wind's still down, sun's been shining. We've been blessed with a beautiful week of disc golf here, disc golf weather. And disc golf
Eagles are going in.
Yeah.
The crowd is roaring. There's money on the line.
It really doesn't suck here, does it?
Absolutely not. It's quite a pleasure this weekend as we see these drives. Conservative there from Missy out to the left, but a very common landing zone. There really is no reason to push the right side OB. If you're able to be on the right half of the inbounds fairway, you'll have a more open ceiling. That is maybe the only motivation for a shot like this by Cadence that's flipped up a little bit to flat. She'll have more room in the air to proceed on the next shot. But if you do go OB right, it feels fairly unforgivable here on hole 12. Nice pump by Keiti. I feel like she has more power than ever this year, Andrew. I'm not sure if she feels that way or if others notice it as well, but her form looks as good as it's ever been.
It's very tight, very good timing, very smooth, clean. It's been great to watch her all these rounds here. She's got a ton of highlights, so many good shots. And that one's just maybe a little bit low to get over that last shelf that you need to get up on the green with. Cadence with better height, but maybe too much turn. It seems to be drifting towards the
Oh
my
no,
goodness.
she's
What?
parked.
She faked me out. Goodness. She knows her disc much better than I do, clearly. The flight looked like it was flipping, but yeah, very overstable disc, comes back beautifully. And right next to the basket.
Keiti just in time sits that down. Had a later fade or even a few centimeters more in height, most certainly would have been out of bounds. Is able to get the applause from the crowd. Holyn now to string together a series of 4 potential strokes down in 3 holes if she can make that putt. Pretty incredible stretch. She's got to make it first, though. We go to Missy from way out. Gave it a nice soft flex to get that additional distance on the putting stroke. That's a pro tip for some beginner players out there. If you can't make the putt with your natural stroke, give it a flex, just like you would on a throw. Gives you some extra distance.
Very nice try, yeah. Not a bad try there from Keiti as well. Just a little bit low. That one low as well from Holyn, so she would have really needed that to keep pushing and putting some pressure on those lead card players, but still doing very well here on the final day.
Still only, and for those of you who can't see me in the finger quotes, only 3 down through the first 3 holes of the back 9. It is, of course, keeping her in a very solid position, but as you mentioned, Andrew, with the holes running out, she's making a push for the win even now.
Yes.
Hey guys, quick pause. A lot of people are involved in this project. Our goal is to grow the sport and share it with as many people as possible. So if you want to support us, subscribe to the channel, like and comment the videos if you like them, and hit the bell so you don't miss anything. It seems small, but it really helps us keep creating free content on YouTube. Enjoy the video.
Yeah, you saw from that leaderboard, she's just 3 strokes back now. With that putt, it would have been just 2. She's really making a push. Pretty impressive stuff here.
A good distance shot here on 13 might close that gap for her, Andrew. This par 3 sits at 125 meters. OB along the left and right. If you can beat this late guardian tree, probably around 105 meters up the fairway, it then widens out into a more generous landing zone, but you need the distance, you need the accuracy. That boulder in the center fairway is a good indication of a shot that will leave you within putting range. It is in C2, but given how long this hole is and the dangers, that is a shot that most people would take as Cadence.
Oh, that's dangerous for a big crowd, turning it over like that. Headhunting.
Quite literally there. We go to Holyn. Maybe. Oh, it gets the late flip. That looks like it was significantly early, but as you mentioned previously, she knows her discs better than we do. A nice late flip on that shot, trying to shape something understable for the distance. I thought that perhaps she had seen the overturned shot and tried to get a wind read, make an adjustment, but she played it perfectly. Right down the middle. Missy comes up short, but in bounds. I think that looked to me like a layup. Didn't really try to shape anything there, just a pure hyzer.
Yeah, this is definitely the breeziest part of the course, being right there by the Baltic Sea, the Gulf of Finland. You can see it in the background. That one flips over, heads to that OB on the right side. And with this hot weather, that's a treat. There's some nice beaches around.
Cadence with a smooth swing. Does come up ultimately a little bit short. That is the boulder I mentioned that a good tee shot will arrive at. For her, that will be a bogey putt from circle 2. Keiti, a solid adjustment, airs it over just inside the bullseye. Really well done. Will be a stress-free 4 compared to Cadence's slightly stressful chance at the 4. Missy for the birdie. I mentioned that it was just a layup, but she gives it a really real bid there. Given the height, you can tell that that was trying to go in.
For real. Oh, splashes some chains. She would have really wanted that one. A little early. But those two birdie opportunities on these last couple holes, she might lose a little sleep over those ones tonight. Those would have been pretty valuable in her hunt.
That one was super close, however, not for Cadence. It airs out. Really nice comebacker for the double. That could have easily been a triple.
Dang.
And you can see just how much it means to her to play well on this big stage, on this final day. Every small mistake that she's making now leaves her a little bit more distraught. She's finding her composure at these critical moments, much like that putt. But I think that's a sign that something is important to someone, is when you see those nerves, you see those emotions come out. Sometimes players who are almost too stoic can be perceived as not caring enough. There is, of course, the balance to be found from professionals. You need to be invested emotionally, but you can't let it control your emotions. Something in the middle.
Great points. And I noticed from speaking with her in Krakow that, yeah, she has taken this game very seriously, and she puts a lot of pressure on herself to perform well. Hole 14 is a par 478 meters or 584 feet. It's there's Mando on the left. You really want to, it doesn't come into play much, I don't believe, and you want to just kind of push down this tunnel. We talked about it before. The shape is pretty tricky off the tee to get a lot of distance. It's kind of forcing that right to left movement a little bit at the very end of it. You definitely don't want to go OB on the right side because that's Estonian Defense Force territory. You might lose your disc. Moves pretty much right to left at the very end of these on the approach. Can't see the drone flight because drones are not allowed to fly in this airspace here. That's testing that right side over there, and she ends up OB on that right side. I hope she can reach through and get it. You definitely can't scale that fence. We haven't seen anybody overturn it like that yet, so.
It shapes pretty naturally for a pure hyzer. You don't need to turn anything over. You can shape a flex with something really overstable, but a straight to left moving shot the entire way is what the fairway kind of asks for. So understandable and unfortunate result, but a solid second drive there from the card. We see Keiti third off the tee, also out into a nice spot. That patch of sunlight there is a pretty reasonable spot. It's still a tall order. This is an interesting hole because even with a good drive, it's still not an easy upshot compared to a lot of the other par fours. If you throw the right drive, the upshot is right there for the taking. This hole feels different in that it's still uphill, it's still far away, there's still gaps to hit. We'll go first to Cadence now.
Yeah, it's a new hole. Definitely trickier than last time with the layout, I would say. I do like the way it's playing. It's kind of a bonus birdie. Score separator. Cadence OB left, and she's furious. Don't take it out on the trees, though. It's not their fault.
No, everybody knows mistakes are the disc's fault.
Go buy some more on the MDG website. You get 4, you get 1 free. I mean, come on. The more you get, the better you are. That's a fact.
Buying discs does improve your rating. Everybody knows it. We go now to Holyn from the right side, OB. And there's good progress here. Does get caught up on the ceiling, but from that far distance, I think the par save was pretty much out of play anyway, so bogey at best. Regardless of that shot there, I think she was going to be left with another throw.
And that feels like the end of the run for Holyn for the win, but if she can turn things around right quick, she might still have a chance at that podium.
A good point at this point here on hole 14. Too little, too late for Holyn. Keiti as well bleeds out to the left. Curious to see where they give her in terms of crossing in bounds. May potentially lean on the spotter a touch for that, but if you're not aware, the spotter cannot make a call. They can simply offer a recommendation to the card and the players themselves, who are then responsible for making the call. Holyn, a simple pitch up with the jump putt there to get under the ceiling and in range.
It's true. It's ultimately a group decision. We'll see where they give it to her.
Given that she hasn't thrown yet, I think it's quite a generous call in her favor.
Yep.
Missy, another long bid just off the middle left side.
She's thirsty for him. Giving him a chance.
If she just bought like 5 or 6 more putters, you know, they might start going in. Sorry, that's mean. Keiti there was given quite a generous landing zone and unable to capitalize. Missy on the comebacker. In her benefit, let's say, she has been very solid in circle 1, and circle 2, she's all over it.
She's battling so tough here. I mean, it's really impressive that she took that 9 on 7, but she's still just 1 over par. You know, she's clean on the back 9. She's not giving up, remaining composed. And
she's in 7th place right now at a major.
Yeah.
Many players you could see being much more affected by a 5 over at that point in the tournament.
There's a lot to be said about not giving up. And staying positive, too. She's always smiling out there. It's really nice to see.
A radiant aura on the course. We move to hole 15. This par 4 sits at 165 meters. Similarly to what I described on the previous hole, is that if you do have a good tee shot here, it opens up quite friendly for the approach. However, there are, of course, dangers. You have to clear this pond on the 2nd or alternatively 3rd shot and try to get your way into the green. These trees in front of the green even hang over the water. You do not want to hit them because falling short can quickly spell many extra strokes in a swing. As a result, a lot of players, for the ideal approach, will try to throw it in or ensure at a minimum to go long, just because short is the only significant danger.
Yeah, lucky Luca did it. Amazing eagle on day 1.
Some good low piercing shots by there. A great display of Holyn's power. That is exactly the sort of shot you'd like to see on this hole, managing both the ceiling and the floor, getting a little bit of ride, but ultimately the late stability. Keiti, a recurring mistake of hers in this round, is fighting these ceilings. We've seen it a lot, and just a slight change to her nose angle there could make a world of difference throughout the round.
Seems to be the mistake she's making most often here on the final day. We got another one coming up on the next hole, so she'll have an opportunity to rectify it.
Keiti, that branch slowed her down. She has a lot of distance left. This is looking right on the edge of inbounds and ultimately is not high enough. I would say it had the speed, just not the height.
Yeah.
Was not stalling out or fading too much yet. Just was unable to beat the barriers. We see Cadence playing the more traditional hyzer entrance to the green, removes those trees from play, and that is really well done.
Yeah, she needed it. Double in a bogue. Bouncing back strong here. On 15. No, that's too low as well. As you said, the play is to really run it, you know, but this chase card not getting the memo.
And Holyn, I would say, even fairly lucky to get through there. She hit a lot of those front trees. A shot that might not always make it through. Hers, however, does as she continues to fight for every stroke. Keiti, there we go, has made the correction. Fires 5 or 6 meters long of the pin. Missy as well now off this OB line. Shapes the hyzer. There we go. We see another one just a little bit long of the pin. They're learning their lesson here. Hole 15, a mean teacher.
Indeed. Great birdie there. Still 5 down for the round. Bouncing back from the bogey. Everybody else in trouble. Good putt, though, to save the bogey for Missy.
Cadence, an important moment for her, has played 3 over in the last 2. This is for birdie.
Yes. Very good stroke.
Great crowd pop, even for the bogey putts there for Keiti. Really rooting for their local Estonians.
Hey, aren't you Anthony Barella?
Yes, sir. Try out this Venom.
Thanks, man. Hey, hurry up, man. You're taking forever.
Sorry, man. No 30-second rule here. What about that 100% off player discount?
Moving on to hole 16, par 3, 95 meters, 312 feet. Tight gap, low ceiling. OB all along the fairway's edge. Elevated basket. Answers right out here in front of the stadium, on the backside of the stadium. Ton of fans are all around, so especially here on this final day, numbering in the multiple thousands. And I guess you just want to really sort of hit that gap first things first, and if you can test the ceiling height, that's the best way to get all the way up to the basket. Otherwise, you'll end up short most often.
We see from Holyn there, does fight her way up to the green, but left outside the circle, significant distance remaining. Particularly with the elevated basket, it's an extra motivation. If she chooses to lay up and protect the par at worst, running it and airing it could potentially bring the bogey into play. Cadence does get through as well, but also very far out, likely a layup. We go to Missy.
That's pretty good. Gets inside the circle. Just barely. Keiti, 3 bogeys in a row. Not her best back 9. Hits the tree. She'll be up quick. Another high release.
It's been plaguing her all day now.
What do you think is causing that? That's just a nose angle thing, or maybe like she's not following through quite, or something with a dip in the.
Yeah, the source could be a whole variety of things. Nose angle can come from anything from reaching down and pulling up to the pull through. It can also be inversely starting too high and doing a sort of air bounce motion. It can even be the slope of your upper body torso in how you're contorting it in the reach back. If you lean back over your left hip for a right-handed backhand, you can bring it up a little bit. So many factors going into getting that nose angle just perfect.
She's getting another bogey. whatever the cause. Not her best day, but she has been very impressive all week. I think she can still hold her head up proud and maybe finish strong on these last couple holes. Saw a few layups there. Some pars from the rest of the gang. Keiti taking the bogey.
We move to the final 2 holes now. Hole 17, a par 3 uphill 94-meter tunnel shot. These initial mandos preventing any sort of hyzer left or right, forcing players down the middle here. You want to throw something traditionally with a slight understability, given that you're throwing nose up and requiring a straight flight. This is one which is difficult to get all the way. Most commonly, a good shot will land somewhere near that walking path and leave them with an uphill putt.
Holyn kicking OB from right to left. Really needs a lot of power to get all the way up the hill. Slightly breezy. That's pretty good. Keeping it low, getting some slide. Might be just around circle 2's edge. But you're happy with that. Any chance you get to give it a run at the basket, I think you're feeling pretty good on this one. That gets a really good skip and some slide. She's right there in circle 2. Keiti trying to bounce back from that long bogey wagon. That's how you do it right there. Pipe job. And slides over the last little path into circle 1. Brilliant shot.
Super smooth from Keiti. We go to Holyn now. Her second throw, but third stroke with the left side OB. And this one is very wide, but does come back. Catching edge there, a benefit to her, closes the distance a little bit. Cadence as well now. Her second, a nice uphill bid. Very smooth throw. She seems to be comfortable at that sort of in-between long putt and short throw distance. Great at modulating the power and controlling the flick of the wrist. Missy as well does a good job. Keiti for the birdie after 4 consecutive bogeys. She finds it.
Oh, yeah. Looking to finish strong here. That's how you do it. That's a bonus birdie for sure. Haven't seen too many on the weekend. Great to get it here. Down the stretch.
And we saw a miss from Holyn, who put hands on her hips. At this point, Andrew, she is tied third, but will move down the ranks.
Could cost her a podium.
That one right there, a double bogey, the initial OB plus the missed putt.
She didn't want to take any double bogeys, as you remember from the pre-round interview, but she gets one there on 17, and that's pretty inopportune time for it. Trying to fight for that podium position, as we mentioned. Hole 18 is such a beautiful finishing hole here. Par 3, 130 meters downhill. OBE left, short and long, as well as right on that little peninsula shape. And you got the stadium behind, you got 5,000 people, nearly. I mean, what a fun spot to finish off your round. Keiti looking really good on this one. Oh, comes in right at the basket. Nearly hits the basket, skips long, settles up just inside the circle. Very nice one.
Missy there does air it out to the left. But above all, finds herself inbounds. Cadence now. To end on a strong note. That one, however, is also swept away by the wind. A huge flare skip. She is outside circle 2. More than likely playing for par at this point. We go to Holyn. This now critical for whatever remaining chance she may or may not have at a podium. or even retaining her 4th place spot. That is circle 2.
Yeah, coming in wide, right to left, but doesn't get any ground play. Still an opportunity for birdie. She's got really good range on the putt. Cadence does as well, but she just opts to put this one under the basket. Take 3 and call it a major.
Missy always looking for a highlight. Gives it the final chance here in the tournament. We go to Holyn. A moment to make for her. Looking to walk it in. And look at that roll, Andrew.
Oh, goodness.
She is further away than she just was with that reaction of the disc. Another one now.
Oh.
And that shy. She goes from tied 3rd to now taking a double bogey on 17. Looking at a single bogey 3-putt on 18.
It's going to cost her some serious cash. Oh, look at that birdie. Keiti. Back-to-back birdies to finish. Very well done. That must be a great feeling with the crowd behind you. Cheering you on after some struggles on the back 9. Holyn, yeah. A couple of rough ones there to finish it while Keiti moved up in the right direction.
And just like that, the EDGF 2025 is solidified.
Silva, you're now a PDGA major champion. How does it sound to your ears to hear that?
It's crazy. Yeah. Hard to say anything for that.
You had your sister on the bag for the whole event. What is it like to share this huge moment with her?
It's nice. We haven't seen much this summer because I have been on tour now maybe 7 weeks, and she has been home, so it was so nice to have she here with me.
We're gonna head to your homeland for the World Championships, first time outside of North America. Tell us what you're expecting and how you're feeling about that.
It's amazing to have World Championships first time in Europe and in Finland. And I'm excited to play maybe season's biggest tournament in Finland.
You're a huge fan favorite here on MDG coverage. Is there anything you'd like to say to the fans that watch at home?
I would like to thank everyone who are watching these events. Yeah, thank you for watching and yeah, cheering for me.
Well, congratulations, Silva, on an incredible performance here. You are the European Disc Golf Festival champion.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us and best of luck moving forward.
Thank you.
Here on MDG Media, we appreciate you joining us. Congratulations to Silva Saarinen for winning this event on the chase card. We had an incredible push and battle and an incredible event hosted by the Estonians, competed by the best in the world, published chase card here on MDG. We appreciate every single one of you for your support. And Andrew, as always, a pleasure, my man.
Thank you so much. This was a ton of fun. I really love this event.